So I just want to say, right? I was planning on reacting to this video for my second channel. I know I'm late to the video since it's like 2 weeks old, but I mean, perfect. I mean, I don't want to react to it when it's new because then I'd be stealing attention. Anyways, I also don't know what I want to do on this channel, just kind of random shit. 45 minutes long. I'm not reacting to all of that, so I'm just gonna skip through. But yeah, I do really love Marvel Rivals. I'm getting back into it, but I've never really watched a full Flats tier list on it. And I want to basically I'm just gonna kind of just watch a little bit. I only play a couple of characters, so I'll just skip to whenever he talks about a character that I like to play. Just because I'm selfish like that, and there's so many characters that I will pass on, you know, that kind of thing.
Thing is situational, but when he is situationally played, he's actually top tier.
I love playing the thing, and I honestly have had such good results with him. He actually is so valuable. Being able to knock Iron Man, Ultron, and like any flyer out of the air, especially Human Torch, being able to get them out of the air is actually so massive. You have no idea because even if you can't actually get them out of the air, it's mind games, right? So what you can do is you can knock them down if they're not scared of you, but if they are scared of you, they're hindering their own accuracy. Uh, and then they're also trying to play way too safe, right? And that's not what you want to do, especially whenever you're playing offense. But that's only whenever you're playing offense. Whenever you're playing defense, it's a little less big of a deal, but you can still be scared for your life, especially since the thing can just jump right towards you. It's actually, I bet it's scary. As a thing player, I bet I have scared the piss out of flyers multiple times just because I've launched to them and haymakered them into the ground. But I wonder if he goes into detail.
When is situationally played against Cap, against Venom, against Psylocke, against Spidey. Spidey's a little bit harder, but you can still do it.
Black Panther and Spider-Man are very hard to hit as the thing, but if you get used to it, you get used to it. And again, mind games. Like if you're by your healers, a Black Panther's not going to want to go back there. Same with Spider-Man.
But even against like a couple of the flyers can kind of work now.
Not even kind of. As somebody that has used him, depending on the map, you can absolutely hinder flyers useless. And I say useless. Like they obviously you only have so much range with your jump, and it is still very hard to hit some of them. Depending on the map though. If it's one of the maps that has a set roof, then you're free sailing, you know. But if you're in a map that has no set roof and the flyers can just sit in the air, then that's a little bit more of a problem. But they still need to get close, right? And they're still going to get greedy, especially Iron Man. Iron Man will absolutely get greedy with the Unibeam, and once you're in range of that Unibeam, you can jump to him. And so you're just not, you know, you're not going to be able to get pushed up by flyers, like you're not taking much damage by them. They're just being hindrances. And at that point, let your DPSs handle them.
You know, Thing. You can't pick every game though, because if you play like Thing into Groot, you're gonna get farmed. You actually.
Uh, I haven't played him against much of Groot, but I mean, since you're spamming right click, it's not real. Like the only hindrance that Groot gives you is a wall. But what does he mean by farmed?
Get hard farmed. If you play Thing into Emma, you get hard farmed.
The thing about that is that the problematic part about that is that even though you get hard farmed as a thing against Emma, that's pretty much every tank. Every tank can basically get farmed by Emma. There's no tank that doesn't, because no matter who you play, even another Emma, like Doctor Strange's shield technically feeds Emma, so that's still not a win situation. The only hero that I think actually it counters Emma is either one, Emma herself, or two, Magneto, because his shield doesn't actually contribute to her meter. However, his shield doesn't last forever. So I think if you're playing tank, you're going to be feeding Emma. Because if you're fighting her, you're going to be feeding her. If anything, the thing is the one that's feeding the least, because he can run away. That's something that I never really thought about before, but, like, the thing is really good at running away, and since Emma only has so much range on her thing, all you have to do is run away, like, to where DPSs are or where your healers are, and they can start picking her off, instead of you worrying about her, and she can't focus on just you whenever there's everybody around you. So remember, it's a team game, and if an Emma is hard focusing you, and not your DPSs, then that means that your DPSs should be able to pick her off, unless the heals are just that good, and at that point, heal diff. But remember, unless she's in her silver form, the thing can still, like, you know, do a lot to her. Like, he can still stun her, he can still use a shift on her to send her into the air, which makes her more vulnerable and also throws off her aim a little bit. Not to mention, the thing's ult can actually start resetting her thing. Like, if you freeze her with the thing's ult, then her meter will stop building. Like, it'll, like, drop. It'll start dropping. It's a long enough freeze for that, which can be very nice, especially if, like, you make it difficult for her to actually continue to attack you. Like, maybe one of your healers, like, sleeper or something afterwards, you know what I mean?
But Emma's banned a lot. If you play Thing into...
I hate that Emma's banned so much, by the way. I hate it. Like, Emma's good, but, like, as long as your DPSs are doing their job from the back, you're not, especially since, like, she's not a good solo tank. So like, the only time she's really good is if she's a secondary tank that's pushing up. And if you're letting her push like that, then that means you gave her meter. And that's partially the tank's fault, but at the same time, your DPSs need to be handling her as well. Especially Human Torch. I think now that Human Torch is good, he can really handle her well.
Punisher, you're hard farmed. If you play into Bucky, a lot of times you get hard farmed. So you have to be very careful. It's not...
Yeah, that's something I noticed with Bucky, and not a lot of people play Punisher for some reason, but yeah, you quote unquote get farmed. However, as long as you play your corners right and you don't just let them hit you, you're still fine, right? Because, like, you're not getting hit much more than any other tank. You just don't have any range like any other tank does. So, like, you have to wait for them to come to you, or you need to play a little more aggressive, which if you're solo tanking, you're not going to want to do that, but especially, or if your healers aren't able to keep up with you, don't do that. But what you really need to learn how to do is the thing is play corners, so that you aren't just giving easy damage the entire time, and so that you're not in the open, but also so that you can still be healed, by your heals in the back.
Not like I pick everything, and if they...
Oh, and remember, you can always run. You have your E. You need to always either save your E or save your shift in order to run away. I like using my shift offensively so that I can use my E to get back. But again, like, personal preference, because one gives you damage buff, the other is faster or something, like, you know. And obviously it depends on the situation as well.
counter swap you, which, by the way, I hate to break it to you, but counter swapping is now a thing in Rivals more often than not.
I hate it. People counter swapping in quick play is so annoying, because what the fuck do you mean I play the thing just to have fun and you play Emma?
If I play Thing, Punisher comes running out. If I play Groot, Punisher or Bucky comes running out a lot of times. So, you know, that's a new one to all have to cope with. But yeah, Thing's pretty good.
I'm mainly a tank player, so I'm not going to start skipping.
I think Mag is still arguably top 3 tank in the game still. The nerf didn't really do much.
Mag is good for non-obvious reasons. Like, unlike the thing, he won't get ace a lot, right? Like, I've played a lot of the thing, he gets ace a lot. He gets MVP. That doesn't matter. But his impact is still great. Magneto's impact is also really high. In fact, it's probably more so than the things. You just don't really notice it because it's not shown by stats. Magneto is really good at holding the line. So he's good solo tanking, because when you're solo tanking, you don't want your tank to push too much. You just want it to hold the line so that your DPS can do the work. Because chances are, if you're solo tanking, you have 3 DPS. Because triple heal is, you know, I mean, it's not ideal whenever you only have 2 tanks. So it's not doing much if you only have 1 tank. And if somebody's not deciding to play tank, they're probably playing DPS, because DPS are not flexible. Or at least that's what it seems like as a gold player. So, like, maybe that changes throughout the game, but I kind of doubt it.
Much. The nerf didn't do much at all to his bubble. Survivability is still really good. If he has the Emma team up, still crazy. And actually, there's a new
Is it that good? I haven't used it much, but is it really any good? Because it kind of just dies in one hit, right?
combo cooking. Chad, do you guys know about the new combo? You want me to tell you the secrets? You want me to tell you the high elo secrets?
Sure.
So here's the new secret. The secret is to play Mag and Phoenix. And you play Mag, Phoenix, and when Phoenix ults, you throw your ball where the Phoenix ults, and you insta kill anyone, especially supports like Luna. Insta boom, goes boom, dice. So, and especially if you throw.
When you say ball, do you mean that spiral thing that you can throw? I hope that's what you mean, because if you mean balls in your ult, that's a I mean that is a double ult, but I mean what? That's probably what he means. He probably means just a double ult, which is probably a good idea.
Throwing your own Luna damage boost, you kill literally anyone. They just explode. They die. So yeah, the high rank play a lot of times is, did you put Thor on B so you don't get flamed by your Thor main followers? Question mark, question mark. You think I'm afraid of getting flamed? Brother,
Funny.
I've made a career off of putting my opinions on the internet for 5 years.
Yo,
And I
same.
have
Well, not for
literally
5 years.
stood 10 toes down if I believe I'm actually right on something. Doesn't matter if people think I'm right or wrong.
I used to be a Thor player, and I've seen Thor be used so well. Like he's not a primary tank because he's way too aggressive to be a primary tank. But if you have a Thor as your secondary tank, don't complain because he's actually mad good. Like his damage is comparable to that of a DPS. Meanwhile, he has the survivability of a tank. Like is his survivability as good as it used to be? No, not at all. But is it still pretty fucking good? Yeah. Like for what his damage is, absolutely.
Wrong. So to think I'm gonna pander now is crazy. I think he's just better. That being said, Penny, I still don't know how
I
this
don't care about Penny.
diamond to in
I
Catherine.
don't care about Penny.
They do really well.
Penny is good, but if used right. But a lot of people don't know how to use Penny. Valid.
Next, Emma.
I
Arguably the
love
best tank
Emma.
in the game. I think Groot is slightly better because Emma gets banned all the time, so like you actually get to play Groot.
I don't know if she's the best tank in the game because she kind of falls under the same thing as Thor, where you don't want her to be your only tank. She's not going to be your primary tank. She's going to be there for aggressive pressure, rather than actual like holding the line. But I guess another tank job is to push the line. So I guess that is like really good. However, I still think I would rather mag, right? And like depending on the situation, the thing. Like obviously different tanks have different pros and cons. But like Emma, she's really good. She is really good, but I don't know if she's the best, even arguably. But that's just off personal experience. Especially now with the nerfs, her damage is still good, but it's not like broken anymore. You know, like her damage is still good, but it's not broken. She doesn't have two grabs. Her shield only has 400 HP, which gets destroyed whenever people are actually coordinated. And it's honestly, the shield is really hard to use because it's not actually an effective shield until you let go of the button, which sometimes, if you want to get a little distance on it, is hard to actually time. So what you and then like if you if you're like me and you just hold W, then there's a good chance you walk in front of the shield if you just press it once. So like it's kind of like you can't. It's hard to use her, but if you can manage to use her well, you will be destroying comp or anybody. You know.
But there's a reason why Emma's banned all the time. So if Emma's not banned, you can't really get away with playing Groot as much. So you kind of have to give Emma respect.
Yeah. Groot definitely feeds Emma's. Honestly, Groot might be a bigger feed to Emma than the Thing is, because the Thing can run away. He can still like status her. He can still like jump around and stuff. He can also still stun her for a while. So like, because like she's not immune to the Thing, right? Like she's not completely immune unless she's in silver form, which people tend to waste it. Uh, so like, you know. I actually think that Groot feeds her more than the Thing does. And this is talking about personal experience. I have played the thing against Emma, and I've had relatively decent experiences. Like, obviously, yes, she does a lot of damage. Obviously, yes, I've been feeding her charge, but other tanks would do the same. You know, it kind of just depends on like their DPSs, right? If Emma's the only one dealing damage to your thing, you can just run away and leave it to your DPSs. If, there's a Punisher and a Bucky or something, then, the thing's definitely not the choice, but that's the whole point. There's different characters, there's counter picking, stuff like that.
Also, at the same time, it doesn't feel as like a okay. Let me explain my thought process. If Emma is banned, Groot takes over and can farm a whole lobby if you're a good Groot.
I still don't know why he's saying Groot is farming. Groot in no way actually farms. Like, sure, he can get a lot of damage off, but his walls will get shot most of the time, and they're not very strong. His iron wall heals him, so that's not really like a good way of saying farming. And his damage isn't that high. It's also kind of hard to aim with his primary. So like I don't know what he means by farming on Groot because he doesn't have a meter. He doesn't. His ult's not even like his ult's good, but it's like it's not as good as others. So it's kind of just like, what do you mean by you're farming? That's my question. And maybe I've just never gotten to the ranks to where Groot is, that good. Like I know Groot's really good. Like he's amazing if you know actually how to place your walls in order to isolate your enemy. However, they can be a double-edged sword because they can like if you decide to push away from your healers and wall in the opponent with you, then you're kind of blocking off your own source of healing, but you're also Groot, so your Iron Wall will give you healing and stuff. So it's kind of like a good Groot, a great Groot actually will manage to do everything without harming itself. But if you're not that good, you're not that good.
Emma being in play doesn't take over a whole lobby. Does that make sense? So, like, if Emma is unbanned, if you play Emma, the enemy team doesn't, you will not take over the whole lobby. Even like really good Emmas will do well, but it doesn't have this. It doesn't feel as like you're going to literally destroy people, right? Because like Groot, you have like good placement with walls, good damage, and then if you get a good ult combo, like double wall with an ult, you cut through support ults. You just literally farm people.
I guess, but whenever I think of farming in Marvel Rivals, I think of getting your ult charge, right? And so if you have to use your ult in order to get your ult, or if you have to use your ult in order to quote unquote farm, then I don't think that really counts as farming. Because whenever I think of farming, I think of, being like just farming, meter on Emma, that's what I think of farming, not whatever the hell he's saying Groot does. Like that's not farming, that's just, having a good ult management.
Right? Emma doesn't always do that. I feel like if Emma's banned, Groot's potential is higher than Emma being unbanned. Don't know if that makes sense.
I disagree. As a tank player, the Groot, his walls don't last, and they never do. And he fails to 1v1 almost any tank because his damage output's not that great without his walls. And if as long as you have a team behind you killing those walls so that you don't get blocked off, then you're good. But at the same time, that's almost never going to happen because since when are teams actually coordinated?
Strange. I think Strange is really good. The Strange play has gotten so elevated in ranked.
I wish I was better at using this portal, bruh. I wish I was better at using Strange because he can be so good. He's just so hard to use. Oh, and now that he has the buff of more ammo, like I always press R at like 2 bullets just because, or 2 shots just because I'm so used to him only having 8 shots.
I got kidnapped. I got kidnapped today. I was literally reading chat, walking a point, and got kidnapped. Instantly exploded.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
Everyone's gotten really good at the portal techs, Strange ults. It feels like we're getting really close to people mastering Strange at this point.
Strange really pops off whenever your other team doesn't have any form of shield. Like if the other team doesn't have mag or a Strange of their own, or then Strange is just like his ult that it doesn't really have any objections because like Groot. I mean Groot's wall and Emma's shield can block Strange's, but it's much harder to than like Doctor Strange and Mag because their shields are like pretty fucking easy to use. But Emma and Groot, they're not so easy. Especially if you're trying to defend your team. Groot can defend himself, Emma can defend herself, but Doctor Strange and Magneto can actually defend everybody around them. And so Doctor Strange against a poorly thought out team that doesn't have any form of shield, it's super good. Oh yeah, I guess Hulk has his barrier, but the range on that's not very good. And typically the Hulk won't be in the front line because Hulk players just take their jump and leap to the back. So as long as you're like in the front line and you're using your ult, Hulk's probably and it also has a long recharge time, so it's really not that hard to land the Eye of Agamotto against Hulk.
We're getting real close. It feels like. Feels strong. Can play in any game. Doesn't
So
mean you'll
strong.
dominate, but can do well.
So
Cap?
strong.
So Cap, I
don't care about Captain America. I think now I'll move on to Bucky. Where's Bucky
Imagine
at?
being able to build an app with
Imagine
your
dragging
name.
these nuts across your face, bitch. Sorry, I clearly hate ads. Where is Bucky? Bucky's from Texas. Winter Soldier is way down there. Way down there. Bucky's really the only DPS I play. I passed him. Excuse me. How did I pass him?
There as well. Really good into Groot, who gets
Squirrel Girl's only in B. I don't think he realizes just how annoying Squirrel Girl is. It's so hard to counter something that you don't even have to be able to see in order to be killed by her. I fucking hate Squirrel Girl, bruh. You can, if a good Squirrel Girl won't even be able to be seen, she'll just be bouncing her nuts across, like off the wall, and she'll be able to hit your entire team and including your healers who get like 3 shot by the nuts. It's actually crazy and not fair. Not to mention the ult gets farmed so quickly, and yet, uh, nobody knows if nobody knows how to shoot it or nobody can shoot it because like it's up front or like it just because its hitbox is fucking stupid. Uh, like it's and it does so much damage too. Like her ult is not balanced for the unit that she is, especially since it homes. I don't like it looks like it bounces off walls, but no, it homes. Like it goes to a wall and then homes right to the next person. She deserves A tier at least because like it's not just that like she's good. Like honestly, she's not even that good, right? It's not even that she's that good. It's that she's so annoying and so easy to play that she's going to be a threat even if you're a fucking like worst scroll girl player. Just because like she's so easy to play, anybody can pick her up and probably get like the most damage in the game. Like her damage is absurd because it has no drop off, or it may have very low drop off. And so she's doing 100 damage from however the fuck far away, just because like she's all the way in Narnia, and she's farming your healers if they don't know how to heal each other. You know what I mean? Or if your team's like picked apart, you know, it's terrible. I don't think she deserves the same tier as fucking Magic and Hulk, but whatever.
played a lot. He kind of just can get played anywhere. You play the shotgun play style versus dive. Ult is still insanely powerful when you get it. It just takes forever to get it now. But definitely
The
not.
thing about Punisher is that he doesn't really feel that good to play. Like I've played Punisher a little bit. He doesn't feel that good to play. It doesn't feel like you have that much of an impact, even though you clearly are, because you're getting a lot of damage off. Like his damage is so good, it just doesn't feel very rewarding.
Not like a game in and game out type of character. There are definitely games, especially if like Mag's available. Like it's probably not a good idea. You're probably gonna get nuked. You know, unless you have Mag on both teams, and then like you play like the war where like your Mag's trying to bubble you and bait the bubble and bait the Mag ult and all this other stuff. So
Nah.
it is what it is. Bucky, I'd argue Bucky's probably better than those two. Punisher and BP.
I love Bucky.
Gets played a lot. He's good into Groot. Really good into Loki. Pretty good into Phoenix. Helps with Psylocke, helps with dive, helps with cap dive, helps with Venom dive. I don't know if I'd say better than Hela. You know what? I actually do think he's better than Hela slightly.
Hella's just not used enough. Like, she's so good still. She's just hardly ever actually used. Like, that's something I noticed. Like, I'm not a Celestial player or anything. I'm literally in fucking gold, but that's just because I don't play the game, bruh. I need to play the game more, but it's hard for me to solo queue without fucking stressing out because if I'm solo queuing, that means I'm trying to win, not have fun. Even though I do still have fun playing, I just get super fucking stressed out. It's enough about me. Hella, uh, I don't know. Hella, I mean, she's hit scan, so she has a niche that Winter Soldier doesn't have. But Winter Soldier's damage, if your aim is good enough, like if you're able to like launch his like predict his trajectory of his projectiles, does that even make sense? I don't know. I don't know if that said that right. But if you're able to land your shots well with him and get a good ult, if you're able to use his ult well, you can absolutely do some top tier damage and just everything, all of the above, and you'll be able to survive a while because he has good survivability.
Because he has more times to be useful. For example,
Right.
if there's a Loki, for example,
Especially with Loki being like probably the best healer in the game, just because he can copy literally any ult while also having his amount of damage output, his amount of range, his amount of healing for his team, his amount of survivability, you know. Like he's just really good. Like I don't think he's better than Luna, but he is really good.
there's dive, and he's also just strong in general. So yeah, I actually think Bucky's probably on the upper end of A. Probably
That's true. I didn't think about dive for Hella. Hella's kind of weak to dive. Her survivability is not that great. And her up close, like, it's hard to hit headshots with her when you're up close. Huh. Never thought about that. Yeah, I do really like Bucky, bro.
probably better than some of the others. Okay, and then last but not least, Wolverine. So Wolverine
I
got
don't care.
nerfed.
I just want to see the final
Change here
results
with
now. I just want to see the final results. Mr. Fantastic indeed. Unfortunately, it's kind of true. Black Panther or Black Widow is indeed that makes sense. Moon Knight and C, yeah, these guys make sense. It's crazy the downfall of Hawkeye. It's actually crazy. And then Penny, Rocket, Invis Woman, and B. I mean that makes sense. Wait, what healers are in A and S? So Ultron's in A? Huh. I don't know how I feel about that. What did he say about Ultron? Was Ultron literally the last one he did?
been pushed against him. And then last but not least, Ultron. So Ultron's a very interesting one because Ultron, I think, is like very powerful against dive in triple support. And so
He's really good for triple support. He is really good for triple support. However, you do not want him to be one of your primary healers. Like if I mean if he's being used alongside Luna or Cloak, then sure, because like Luna and Cloak just have so much healing that they can kind of make up for it. Especially since Ultron still doesn't have zero healing. His drone's pretty decent, especially since he can just give you shield whenever he wants, I guess. But or bonus health, sorry. But A tier as a support that mainly just does damage. I don't know about that. I think I like Invis Woman more. And honestly, even Rocket. Rocket's healing, like, even though he does like no damage, normally whenever he's being used, he survivability is a really big thing for Rocket. His survivability is good and his healing is fucking top notch. Like if you have a heal botting Rocket, you're probably not gonna die unless like he turns away for a second or something because his healing is so good. From my experience. He just doesn't have a good ult like Luna, Cloak, and Loki does. You know, like with healers, a lot of it is just their ults that make you and your entire team invincible. Title screen. But you know, like that's a big part on healers is their ults. And Ultron's ult is actually really good for healing. Because like just I don't think a lot of people notice it because they don't use it for healing, they use it for damage. Bursted. Yeah, they're really stupid. But Adam Warlock, I'm glad Adam Warlock is finally like above the others, some of the others at least, because like his ability to just turn somebody from 0 HP to 100 is fucking crazy. Like I don't know how good his healing is, but his E, it's I don't know, it's ridiculous because you have three uses of it at a time, or at your max, and it can basically just heal somebody from like 50 HP to 250. And honestly, I wouldn't doubt that it does more. It's actually ridiculous. And now that his ult has been fixed to where like, wherever you revive your teammates, they don't just instantly die, because he does provide healing to them. It's like it does somewhat fix the problem. It doesn't fully fix it, but it does somewhat fix it. Enough to say that yeah, he's better than most of the healers at this point.
So you
Is there any point? Oh wait, I was just looking at the rest of them. Spider-Man, Thor, Iron Man. I mean, I kind of just agree on most of them. Dude, a good Phoenix is a good fucking Phoenix. Phoenix's damage output can be so crazy, especially as a tank player. Like, if you're an easy hit, if you're an easy target, she can farm the hell out of your damage, or out of her. She can farm the hell out of you because her damage is crazy. Giving her a critical hit, I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Because her damage on its own and for body hits is already good. She has good base damage. She has amazing headshot damage. She benefits doubly from the headshots because of the explosion thing. Uh I don't know what to call it, but like the flare, the thing that explodes. That's really good. It also heals her. She has good mobility. And when I say that, she has the ability to fly, so that's nice. And I thought that her flying's okay actually. It's not that great. It kind of makes her vulnerable, but her dash is good because it's kind of similar to a Psylocke dash. Human Torch is really good for obvious reasons nowadays. Unfortunately, I don't. I hope you guys understand why he's an S tier. And then Psylocke. Psylocke's really good. I wish I was better at using her, but I've used her once before, and her damage from afar is a lot better than I thought it was. So like, yeah, she's really good. Wolverine, obvious reasons, because literally any tank will be annoyed to hell by him, except for the Thing. Thank God. Who is, I guess, my main. But yeah, Black Panther being an A, that makes sense. He's kind of in B tier as long as your healers know to heal each other, but if they don't, then he's probably S tier, so meeting in the middle is nice. I doubt that was his reasoning, but that's mine. Yeah, I agree with most of this, but of course, people will disagree with whatever they want to disagree with. I actually made a video talking about how tier lists will always be bad. I did that on my main channel though. It kind of pertains to Battle Cats, mostly pertains to just tier lists in general. But go check that out. Go check this video out. It's amazing. If you're seeing this video, you probably already saw this video. You know what I mean? Like it, subscribe. You know, you know the deal. Uh, if you did enjoy, please do come back for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.